Hello everyone, today in this video we will fight against the atmosphere character of our world around us, and today we will discuss about current and past events. For the last 20 years in the countries of European Union, especially in the core countries like Germany, Benelux countries, France, to a large extent Italy, we see that the residual amount of rationalism and residual amount of sane mind was replaced completely by ideological madhouse and greed. We need to remember that Germany industry of Germany is still very powerful, and in some disciplines is the largest or one of the largest in the world. Like German chemical industry is the second largest behind American one still. So these industrial owners and managers who run the companies on behalf of the owners, they really want to maximize the profit, and to a large extent they use the German state and its power, its very good organization, to increase their profits. And recently, as it was already mentioned by me and many others, since the end of 1960s, big capital, so these owners of great enterprises and the managers of great enterprises, simply made a deal with leftist ideologists. They simply purchased them, and these leftist ideologists are spreading the leftist madhouse, neo-Marxist madhouse, through the society to keep it dumb and obedient to the power and distracted from the real problems. The real problems are, especially now it's seen in the countries of European Union, that there is no economical and technological development as it should be. There is a huge chunk of regulations that really make very difficult economic activity for middle and smaller size enterprises. There is a lot of ideological regulations that simply destroy the social life, a sort of censorship that we call political correctness. Academia actually gets stuck because people are afraid to tell their opinions if they are not in agreement with now commonly, maybe not commonly accepted, I shouldn't say, but commonly promoted leftist opinions. If you think differently, you are intolerant, because the only tolerant version and the only accepted version is the one promoted by leftist intellectuals financed by big capital to keep the society stupid. And we know from the history that when ideology takes over the reality, on the historical timescale, it doesn't last long, but it's really difficult time, and any development, any progress is then suppressed, and simply economy, culture, and everything collapses. And the worst thing is that now the ideology that really dominates, thanks to the money of the great industrial capital owners, is neo-Marxism. So we can say that it's anti-cultural Marxism, because now revolution takes place not in the field of social problems, economical problems, but in the field of culture. Everything is being destroyed, and everyone is actually made an enemy of everyone. All possible line of divisions in the society that exist naturally, like age, gender, color, language, religion, whatever, are used to divide the society and keep people busy with this stupid stuff and make them distracted from the fact that economy and their own wallets are getting more and more empty, and their influence on world politics, I mean their countries or the structure like European Union, is fading away each year, actually each month even. So this is the good example from current and recent years, how it's getting bad when ideology takes over the sane mind, the sanity, when the ideology takes over the sanity. From history, we know many of such examples. For instance, flourishing Abbasid Caliphate during the time of, for instance, Caliph uh, al-Rashid and following later got dismantled due to the geopolitical instability caused by the Turkic mercenaries who were actually taken to Abbasid Caliphate in two ways, like as slaves who were later made soldiers, members of the Caliph Guard, or like mercenaries. Later, their leaders, called sultans, just felt that they have power over Abbasid and their own people, so Levantine Arabs mainly, and they simply took the power. Many of them established their own independent political domains or even kingdoms, and they were simple people, not educated, and they also were driven by simple religious approach. So we see that again some ideology or some doctrine took over the sane approach to the reality, and the cultural flourishing and development and scientific flourishing of Abbasid Caliphate was over. Another example from antiquity can be found when Christianity took over the power in Roman Empire at the end of the 4th century. Now, of course, not all Christians and not all these Turkish people were backwarded, but the majority was driven into this direction. The main example from the late antiquity is the final destruction of the Alexandrian library in 391, and some people give symbolic date in 415 AD when Hypatia got brutally executed by the Christian mob led by the fanatic patriarch of Alexandria, Kirill. So I wouldn't say that I would cry for Hypatia because her mathematical achievements were not so big, but it's a good symbolic act to show that when ideology takes over, like now in European Union, now we come back to the reality, then sanity and reality has to step back for a moment, but later they come back with a huge blow, and if we don't stop ideological madhouse, the destruction is complete and brutal. We should do everything to stop this madhouse and avoid a really brutal comeback of the reality into our lives. Because in the clash between ideology / doctrine and so on, so imagination and reality always wins. And reality steps back only for a moment. Later it comes back with a huge blow and destruction. And all of this pseudo-green energy and this all economical pseudo-madhouse that our this green plan or blue plan or whatever, what our European Union business political pseudo-elite wants to introduce, it leads us to the disaster and hunger. Another disaster like in 1930s is Soviet Union with great starvation, and in the early 60s in Maoist China. If we don't stop it, we will follow the same scenario in the name of environmental friendly pseudo policies. All the best, have a nice day, bye.